what's going on, everybody? I'm Noah from PhoneDog.com. Smile, you're on TV. Well, not really. But I just want to say thanks to the folks at Samsung for lending me this handy-dandy full HD camcorder. See, it says right there, full HD, 1080p. So we can experiment with doing some PhoneDog videos in HD. So let us know what you think in the comments. HD, is it worth it? Does it matter? Do you care? Let us know. All right, let's get on to the dogfight. As far as phone quality goes, I actually had slightly better results with the Hero than with the iPhone, and that may be because, ironically enough, I'm running Hero on a 2G network, not 3G. AT&T's 3G network not been performing well as of late here in the San Francisco Bay Area, and taking the Hero down to, it doesn't have US 3G banding right now, so it has to run on the 2G network, and it actually seems to have been, well, it's performed solidly, and that may be a function of that, or it may just be that, the service has been better lately when I've been using Hero. I don't know, but at any rate, slight nod to Hero in terms of actual phone quality. We'll look quickly at the music player. This is an area where the iPhone excels for sure. And what's kind of nice about Hero is that HTC added a music player widget you can leave running on your home screen. So I'll go back to it, and I can click, on the home screen. I control basic controls, play, skip track, etc. Yeah, I know. I heard the song on the radio and I kind of liked it, and I downloaded the album, and now I don't like it so much. So there you go. But then you can click on the widget and go through to your main music app. So here's what it looks like. Pretty similar, album art and a scrubbable bar, so you can drag through to different positions. The new iPhone has high-speed scrubbing, and you can do fine scrubbing and fast scrubbing now, which is more useful for listening to voice recordings, podcasts, that kind of stuff. Similar functionality in terms of going through and searching by artists. The HTC adds these little icons, which is kind of cool. You can do playlists. You can go through all songs. So very similar. We'll show you on the iPhone down here. Same thing: artists, playlists, albums, songs, that kind of stuff. Obviously, the iPhone comes with integration with the Apple iTunes Store right out of the gate. With Android, the Amazon MP3 store, and then we'll see if this phone does come to Sprint later this year, if they have integration with Sprint, or if they do it through the Amazon MP3 store. Both phones have a standard 3.5mm headphone jack, which is great. Hooked them up to my car stereo, hooked them up to, higher quality earphones. They both sounded quite good. Definitely you can use them as a portable media player. iPhone has the advantage of the built-in flash memory storage, which, not only do you get more storage out of the box, but also it's a little bit faster to access because it's internal flash memory and not a card, which you'll only notice if you really load up the memory with lots of media, video files, and photos in particular. So slight advantage to the iPhone with the music player app, but HTC really did a nice job, I think, on Hero's music player app. And so here's a quick look at the Mail app. On the right here on Hero, this is the Mail widget, the HTC Mail widget that's on one of my home screens here. And on the left, I've drilled into Apple's Mail app, and this is actually the same email showing up in the full Mail view on the iPhone as opposed to just the widget view on Hero. So the widget view on Hero on the home screen, kind of similar to TouchFlow 3G, on HTC's Windows mobile phones. It lets you look at an email, kind of scan through your emails from the home screen, and then you can tap and you can click through to actually get to the full email, which shows up in HTML format, and also to get your inbox and all that kind of stuff. So we'll go to the inbox here, and so I'll show you the same email on both devices. And nice job from HTC again. I don't really like the stock Android Gmail app very much. I think HTC did a nice job building their own app here. Easier to use for me, a little more functional. I just like the UI better. And the Hero is now multi-touch. So I've got an HTC or HTML email, and I can pinch and zoom in, and I can scroll around, do all that business, and I can view it in widescreen mode as well. And then with iPhone, of course, the pinch and zoom functionality. You can see the iPhone is faster. The combination of hardware and software just runs faster on iPhone than on Hero widescreen mode as well. And again, I'm curious to see when HTC does their software optimizations, and also to see if they bump up the hardware specs at all before they ship an American version of Hero, just to make it a little smoother, but not too bad, really. And the screen is definitely responsive and feels good on Hero. So slight nod, perhaps, to iPhone in terms of the email, but I don't know, actually, because it's more the performance of scrolling through. But HTC, that mail widget that they built for the home screen is really kind of a nice feature to kind of quickly go through your emails without having to jump into the inbox. On iPhone, you can't see what new mail you have. You can just see, you have a ticker showing you how many. On HTC, you can see the ticker, but then you can also flick through your emails, and you can also do one-touch composition of a new email, which, again, just, a slight difference. That actually brings me to the keyboards. And so we'll fire up a new mail message on both phones. And so here's the keyboard for both phones. And I haven't set a custom SIG file for the HTC yet. And so you can see, fairly similar, and you can rotate both of them into widescreen mode. And they both work really well. The keyboard on Hero works better than the keyboard on the T-Mobile G1 or the T-Mobile MyTouch because it's multi-touch enabled. So it's much easier if you type with both thumbs, with two thumbs or more than one finger. You can type faster, more accurately, I find, or I can, I should say. I've been able to on the Hero than I have on any other Android phone because it's multi-touch enabled. Pretty similar at first glance, the two phones. The offset key layout, kind of standard layout. The spacebar is a little bigger on iPhone. On the Hero, you get a few extra buttons down here. You get the settings button down there on the left. And you get a button to hide the keyboard. You have to manually hide and show the keyboard, which is something that some people might not like, but, not that big of a deal, I didn't find. One thing that's kind of nice, or potentially nice for power users, is the way that HTC made use of the Android long press on the Hero keyboard. So you can see some of the keys, or basically all of the keys except the spacebar, have a secondary function. So Q has the Q, and then it has a 1 above it. So if I press Q, I get the Q. If I press and hold, I get the 1. Some of the keys will have more than one possibility. So you can see I can press and hold the S, and I get a choice of the @ symbol or some other symbols, and I can slide my thumb or finger along. I don't have to go up to where it is. I can just do it, down here, and I can see which symbol I want to choose. That's kind of neat. Power users will get used to this, and they'll use the long press. I was talking to our own John Walton about this, our Android expert, and he agrees. He loves the keyboard. It's a step up. He'd like to see the HTC Sense keyboard made available to all Android phones because of the way it uses the long press and just a little bit more innovative, than the other, the stock Android keyboard. If we go back to the iPhone here, you can see, you press, you get it, that's it. Apple's bread and butter is making, kind of that mainstream consumer product that's cool enough and has enough features for the super geeks to want also. But if they leave out some of the super geek functionality, that's fine. So it's pretty basic. You click through, you have these buttons to click through to get to your different symbol keys, but that's kind of it. And the autocomplete is pretty simple as well. You type something wrong, and if it finds a match, it'll show it to you, and you either hit space to accept it, or you hit the X to keep the word the way that you had it spelled. Whereas on Hero, and Android is like this in general, Hero just a little tiny bit different, and again, I like the way that HTC does it a little bit better. As you're typing, you get options for, different words you can choose from. And again, this is kind of a power user thing, where if you're really a power user and you can be typing, and if your eye-hand coordination is fast enough, you can choose the words ahead of time. And but for me, the thing I really liked is that if I type a word incorrectly, so I'll type the word brown incorrectly, I get a choice. And I didn't actually, it's suggesting broom for me because that's the closest match. I didn't want broom, I wanted brown. iPhone actually suggested broken, which wasn't the word I wanted at all. But so that I can just tap brown, and there you go. Or, let's say I did want the word B-R-O-O-N, Rune. I can click and choose it, and it saves it for me into the dictionary. So it's easy to access the custom dictionary to add your own words, which is something that on the iPhone, you actually have to trick it by adding your own words. If I wanted Brune in my iPhone's dictionary, I would have to trick the iPhone by adding it into my contacts list, which is kind of silly.